Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hey, hello there. Welcome. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Let me know if it's still working okay, because I had to do something. See if the sound is okay now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, it might be better now. See if it straightens out. Sounds good. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. We're gonna do some reading too. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. If you want to come on, Tom, you can, or anybody, you can just find the link in the past. You know, it's on my timeline. Just go back. See, background is moving, but your window is froze. Is everything froze? Okay. Let me I'll fresh up. Okay, I'm gonna try again. Yeah. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Let me know how it's working now. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Great. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Ooh, that's right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Purchase your tracks today.
Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Oh my Lord Krishna, Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There you go. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for coming. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Oh, Krishna. Woo. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, oh my Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Purchase your tracks today.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, oh my Lord. Jai Shri Radhe Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hey, Lucy, welcome, Lucy. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Oh my Lord, Jai Shri Radhe Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, oh my God, this is too good. Oh my God.
Ain't no ball like me.
Oh boy. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Radha. Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gora Bhaktivinoda Jai Jananda Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Govinda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Thanks for using.
Oh my goodness. Chanting is better. Does it get better for you, Tom? Yeah. Yeah, good. Progress. Wow. Feel stone. Mary Radha. Radha Krishna. Oh my goodness. Wow. His name is fabulous. So, Hare Krishna. I was wondering, I was afraid that I maybe because I was so arrogant today and so mean to the gurus. I didn't know if I'd get any ecstasy. I thought Krishna might punish me for being so mean, picking on the gurus again.
The sound is not very good here. Can you use those headphones again? Is it possible?
Oh, yeah.
The small ones.
Yeah, okay. Let's try that. Okay, let's see. Is that any better? Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I just get so drunk on this ecstasy, that I just start saying stuff, I don't know. I hope it works out. Afterwards, everybody says, "Boy, that was such a great class." I said, "But I was so mean." I was coming down on these poor gurus, telling them this and saying this. Yeah. Why can't I follow etiquette? Why can't I give respect to illusion like everybody else? Give honor to the illusion.
You have a special job.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, let me know if it's working better there, Janaki. Okay. So, yeah, it's kind of, I guess, a special job, specialty. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I see. Okay. Downloads. This is Sri Krishna. Oh, no, it's deep stuff about. Oh, I have some books here. Books here. Oh. Now, why don't you get the Chaitanya Bhagavat out? Or let's see, but yeah. No, get let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam and yeah, first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. And Janaki, if you can bring me the first canto for the first canto. I mean, the first chapter, first canto. So you got it out? No? Okay. Read the subtitles to it. The chapter titles. That was fast. Yeah. Yeah.
Read the subtitles. 1.1 is creations by the sages. 1.2, divinity and divine service.
No, that's okay. I got my book now. I'll just tell you where to go. Okay. Okay. So this is the appearance of Narada, chapter 4, in the first canto, part 1. No, first canto, chapter 4. Got it?
Om Namo. Yes, Om Namo Bhagavate
Yeah.
Vasudeva. Yeah, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Oh. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Haridas.
Jai Bhakti
Text
Tom.
one. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Text one. On hearing, Sutta Goswami speak thus. On hearing Sutta Goswami speak thus, Shanaka Muni, who was the elderly, learned leader of all the rishis, engaged in that prolonged sacrificial ceremony, congregated Sutta Goswami by addressing him as follows.
Congratulated.
Congratulate. Did I don't. Okay. I remove these things. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Okay, you can.
Shaunaka said, O Sutta Goswami, you are the most fortunate and respected of all those who can speak and recite.
No, actually, read the
Please
purport.
relate the pious message of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by the great and powerful sage Sukadeva
Read the purport.
Goswami.
Haribo, you hear me? Read the purport.
In what period and at what place was this first begun? And why was this taken up? From where did Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile this literature? His, Vyasadeva's son, was a great devotee, an equibalanced monist, whose mind was always concentrated in monism. He was transcendental to mundane activities. But being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. Wow.
Hey! How come you
While
can't hear me, Tom?
Sri Vyasadeva was following his son, beautiful young damsels who were bathing naked covered their bodies with cloth, although Sri Vyasadeva himself was not naked. But they had not done so when his son had passed. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. But they had not done so when his son had passed. The sage inquired about this, and the young ladies replied that his son was purified, and when looking at them made no distinction between male and female, but the sage made such distinction.
So, Tom, can you hear me now? Shake your head. Can you hear me? So can you hear me, Tom?
Yes, now I can hear you. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, this whole thing won't work if you can't hear me. So why can't you hear me when you were reading?
I changed from headphones to the other system, but there was some. I
All
pushed
right.
the wrong button. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I pushed
All
the
right,
wrong
that's
button.
okay. No problem. So go back.
Yeah.
Go back to the first verse and just read the purport.
Okay.
And if we have echo, you're going to have to use the headphones if we have echo.
Okay. So again, text 1. On hearing Sutta Goswami speak thus, Shonaka Muni, who was the elderly, learned leader of all the rishis engaged in that prolonged sacrificial ceremony, congratulated Sutta Goswami by addressing him as follows. Purport. In a meeting of learned men, when there are congratulations or addresses for the speaker, the qualifications of the congratulator should be as follows. He must be the leader of the house and an elderly man. He must be vastly learned also. Sri Shanaka Rishi had all these qualifications, and thus he stood up to congratulate Sri Sutta Goswami when he expressed his desire to present Srimad Bhagavatam, exactly as he heard it from Shukadeva Goswami and also realized it personally. Personal realization does not mean that one should, out of vanity, attempt to show one's own learning by trying to surpass the previous acharya. He must have full confidence in the previous acharya, and at the same time he must realize the subject matter so nicely that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No
That's
obscure.
important. The original purpose of the text. See, actually, as it is. The problem is when you have vanity. Okay, what's going on? Okay. Yeah. So the problem is when there's pride, false ego, and that kind of stuff. The original there's some blindness there, but anyway, that's just how it is. We're really fortunate with the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. He really purifies the heart really nicely, and the realizations become more and more clear. I mean, for me, I'm not vastly learned or anything like this, but the Lord can. This is the special mercy of Lord Chaitanya. It's really true. Those who get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, especially in Parampara, because that's how you're really going to get it. I mean, the real mercy, this grace, special grace. Even a foolish child who has the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, see chapter 3, I think 3 or 4, verse 1, CC, Ariya. Yeah. Even a foolish child who gets the mercy of Lord Chaitanya can collect the valuable jewels of the revealed scriptures. Okay? Or present the pastimes of Krishna in the vision of the revealed scriptures. It is so important to get somebody like that in some lifetime to speak to you, because then you have an empowered devotee. And in this time now, it's Lord Chaitanya's mercy that gives us that ability, to speak the Bhagavatam. Usually, you'd have to be really more than learned. You'd have personally realized it. Like Shukadeva Goswami, he was a liberated soul from birth, and then when he heard from the platform of liberation about the personality of Godhead from his father, even see, he was born in that family from Veda Vyas, he realized it. And he left immediately. He left his own family. Can you imagine? Boom, gone. after hearing the Bhagavad Gita, he realized, oh, life is about love of God, family. Forget it. I'm going to go to the forest and just really focus on this. Even he was more purified than his father, who wrote the Bhagavatam. You know, how do you know that? Well, if you look in the Bhagavatam, they both pass by these women, and they felt shy amongst Veda Vyas. They felt shy because they felt there's some attraction still there. But with Sukadev Goswami, they didn't feel shy at all because it says he was purified. So it was a high level devotee. He came in, you know, in that family with Veda Vyas, who even wrote the Bhagavatam. And that happens. You know, a lot of people don't know. Sometimes a disciple of a devotee could be highly advanced, more so than maybe even the guru. The thing is, they never, if they're really advanced and really purified, they never consider themselves better, you know, or try to top them. This is what Prabhupada's saying, not trying to surpass, you know, and that's false ego. But people do because they're not sufficiently purified. You know, it happens. It's like here, we have some devotees have amazing ecstasy, right? Very powerful. You know? Yeah, where do they come from? Just out of the blue, you know, they just come and they very quickly become very ecstatic. Okay? So, but they don't think, because they're really genuinely advanced. They're never thinking, oh, I'm so much better than my guru like this. It's not the right mentality. Okay? There's many instances of this actually in the, or at least a few that I know of. One was actually, oh yeah, Shamananda. His guru was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, and he was also very dedicated to his guru. But he was like a manjari, and and Radharani personally put a tilak mark on his forehead that would never come off. And so anyway, that's a whole pastime in that, where the guru got really angry at him. He said, how dare you put this tilak on? You know, you're supposed to wear the tilak I gave you. A special, like, different marking or something. But he couldn't rub it off. It wouldn't come off. It was permanent. The Radharani personally gave. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, read on.
The original purpose of the text must be maintained. No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it.
See, this is very important. No obscure meaning. See? The original purpose of the verse. See, what is it trying to tell us? See, even though you may explain it in different words, but what is it trying to tell us? See? And that's a real parampara system. The one where the one that's broken is, you have the verse in the line, say it's good and nice, but the person explaining the verse changes the purpose. See, the purpose becomes self-motivated instead of motivated to explain it properly. I talk about this all the time. Even if you lose your followers by telling them the truth. See? So like some people say to me, you know, Gauri, if you're a little bit more like respectful to the gurus, you know, about certain things, and why can't you just be nice? Why can't you just give respect and and honor to them, and work and respect them as pure devotees and as able to liberate their disciples? See, if I did that, I would not be respecting the verses I'm reading in the Bhagavatam. I would. So I have a danger, because people say more people would come. They say there's so many of these ISKCON devotees would come, but you say these things. Okay? What can I do? To me, it is more important to keep the original purpose of the verses, like Guru Tattva, that you should be. I mean, if you want to be a real qualified guru who to deliver your disciples, you need to be absorbed in mellows of devotion. You got to chant Hare Krishna in ecstasy, in intimacy and ecstasy, showing that you have captured Radha and Krishna in your heart. Otherwise, you can't bring people to Vrindavan. So people have a hard time. Why do you do that? Why don't you just go along with everything as it is? Well, I'm not a go-alonger. I want to keep the original truth about Guru Tattva. Even if we lose thousands, doesn't matter. Truth is more important to preserve, because the few that stay with you, honestly, genuinely, they will go back to Godhead. What good is to have 1,000 disciples who are getting not the original purpose of the verses in Bhagavatam, and they don't go back to Bhagavatam? You don't even get one. This is the situation now. You show me how many gurus have the excess of some of the disciples here, like Johan and Lita Ganga and Govinda and Ra and River and whoever else this is manifesting, where we can see visibly. Who? You can't usually find even one. See? So, and they may have thousands of disciples, but I see, well, you don't have it because you're not preserving the original purpose of the verse. I'd rather get a few into Vrindavan than thousands who don't get in, and I'm just making a show and presenting some contaminated version of Srimad Bhagavatam. No, not interested. But let's get the few in, right? Now, doesn't you see what he's talking about? I practice that. To me, that is important. Prabhupada also was like that. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
No obscure meaning should be screwed out of it, yet it should be presented in an interesting manner for the understanding of the audience.
Hey, and that's what we do that too. Isn't that interesting? We make it very nice storytelling, very exciting, very dynamic, very controversial, very like attention getting. See? So, but this is natural, it's spontaneous. I love it. Just the Lord gives the comedy and the thrilling and all that stuff. Make it really. That's we have like 3-4 hour classes. Otherwise, who would listen to Bhagavatam for 3-4 hours? Come on, man. Who would have the patience? It has to be interesting and thrilling. See, all along, this proof. Prabhupada said Krishna dictated those words. See, those realizations. See, so Krishna dictates also the explanation of them. See, it's the same God. This is the whole thing I'm trying to say. If you got the real parampara, the same Krishna, Trinal Krishna, uses the what do you call contemporary charya, spiritual master. Yeah, because same God, same Lord. Same. We preserve. The Lord preserves the real purpose. See, right through the line. It's very rare to see that, actually. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
This is called realization. This is called realization.
See, realize. Realize. See, realize is realization. Isn't that funny? Realize and realization. See, because you see actually here, realization, goes into the realize in your mind. What is your mind thinking about? Is it contemplating the real verse? Realize comes in here, from the heart into the mind and then out through the mouth. See, out through the mouth. There you can see an example of Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or Satchidananda. Through the mouth is through the Son, right? Through the Son, or through the Sat is the soul coming through the vehicle of the devotee. But he's in his soul. He or she is in their soul body. See, the soul is awakened. See, so what comes through in the heart, right? The heart is the Ananda. See, into the mind, out through the mouth. See, Satchidananda. You've got how many of those? The body is a temple. How many of those temples do you usually see in the world? Very rare. See? You find even one temple that from those persons, that's where the tree of devotional service is cultivated. And then you become like a branch, like, a branch of the tree. Yeah. So that's how it works. Go ahead.
The leader of the assembly, Shanaka, could estimate the value of the speaker. Sri Sutta Goswami, simply by uttering Yata Ditam and Yata Mati, and therefore he was very glad to congratulate him in ecstasy.
See, this devotee could tell by the sound vibration. You notice the same thing comes here. Same thing here. The advanced devotees here, say like Lalita Ganga, watch how she watches classes. Look how she chants. When she's in sadhu sangha, look how attentive she is. Look at her face. See, she can tell what is transcendental sound. So you see, that's in the book, right? You have this in reality in our sangha. You have devotees that like that. That's why this is the living Bhagavat here, man. Living Bhagavats, living the Bhagavat example of what you read in the book. It's uncanny. It's amazing, actually. The Lord has set this whole thing up so that people can really have realization of the Bhagavatam and understand its real principles. This is important to present the real Bhagavatam instead of just having it in the book, and people misrepresent the Bhagavatam because they want to be a big guru or something, or they want followers. They're still not purified. This is how lines break until the real devotees, powerful devotees, come and establish the line again. The Prabhupada was like that. Bhakti Siddhanta was like Bhakti Vinod Thakur. They're very powerful representatives of the transcendental potency in the world. And we are connected with that to keep it solid and established here. See, so we keep the real line going. And you notice, out of Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta disciples, basically, one empowered preacher that was powerful, that came into it. Nobody else could really do anything until Prabhupada started. Then they all rode the energy. See? Are you okay, Tom? You seem a little tired.
Yeah, it's late here. It's
Oh, that's what you're getting a little tired. Okay, you might want to watch this class again because it's really good. Later on, watch it over again. Yeah, this is good stuff, man. Yes, clarity needed, now needed. Yeah, and that's how we do it. You have to see that's why it comes down to the living spiritual master who is empowered by the same potency, same God, same Krishna, transcendentally that the other one was. And otherwise you have it's more or less unclear, everything. Go ahead there, read some more.
And therefore he was very glad to congratulate him in ecstasy. And therefore he was very glad to congratulate him in ecstasy. No learned man should be willing to hear a person who does not represent the original Acharya.
Isn't that amazing? I just love Prabhupada's preaching. It is so perfect. It's so right on. You notice in our classes, we're not disagreeing. I've always said that. You got to represent the real Acharya, but who can do that? You have to have faith in the Acharya like Prabhupada, and you get the special mercy of the Acharya, which is transcendental potency. Okay? So you have to have this ecstasy, and that purifies your heart. See? More. And then when you speak, you say things that are in line. See, in the line. So the electricity continues on. You see, even many of my students are like that. You listen to Govinda. I was listening to Govinda myself. I said, my God, he really, he remembers everything practically. He listens really attentively. Lalita also, like she listens attentively and then she repeats
and shares and like makes it more clear to people, but the essence is the same. And others, yeah. So this is how the line is maintained. The devotees become more and more mature by ecstatic worship, and they continue the line. Yeah. As soon as the ecstatic worship stops, then the false followers flood in. See? Then it becomes religion. What do you think has happened to a lot of Christianity, a lot of any religion? See? This is beyond religion. this is what you see in the verse, like the second verse of the first chapter of Bhagavatam. This Srimad Bhagavatam is not religiously motivated. It's not motivated religiosity. It's not motivated. No material motive. Not here to get disciples and to get a bunch of followers, to kiss everybody's butt and tell them what they want to hear. No. We're here to present the truth as it is. I love it, man. And I want to teach others to love it also, because it's very easy. Once you get the knack of presenting the truth boldly, clearly, and this comes from the heart, spontaneous. It's wonderful. Yeah. And everything goes on so nicely. Everybody coming here, because here you're seeing devotees who chant in ecstasy, and you're hearing clear conclusions that come from that. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is the most auspicious this sadhu sangha I've seen on the planet, and I've been to India many times, to hear things that are so clean. See, very unique. Go ahead, read on.
No learned man should be willing to hear a person who does not represent the original Acharya. So the speaker and the
there
audience.
You go. Yeah, you see how many people, they're so eager to hear that those who don't represent the original Acharya, and that's why I was kind of joking around that, well, I wonder where my ecstasy going to be. How can I not be pleasing Prabhupada by saying, not only saying, but showing what he's actually talking about here? And just telling you, hey, why are you going and list people who don't represent the original Acharya? If you don't have the ecstasy Prabhupada has, you'll probably be speculating. You'll probably be to checklist as the qualification for guru. I'm sorry, it's not it. See? Qualification for guru is what the book says by regular classes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh yeah, that one too. But the first one is by the action of the book Bhagavat. See, that's the book he's reading. That action. And the devotee, see, there's action going on in the book Bhagavat. It's brought out by the action of book Bhagavat, by the devotee Bhagavat, absorbed in the mellows of devotion. Thanks for hanging in there, Tom. The mellows are awakened in others. The same mellows. They're pure, but you got to follow the formula. See, I stick with that. See, by regular classes in Srimad Bhagavatam and service to the pure devotee, all that's troublesome to the heart is purified. And then this loving service to the Lord, love for the Lord awakens in the heart. It becomes an irrevocable fact because it's the truth. God is in there just waiting to be woke up. See, need the pure devotee. Okay? So we stick with that. See, therefore, the real parampara is based on Guru Tattva. If you're teaching erroneous Guru Tattva, making up some other qualification simply because you're not on that standard and nobody else is, and you're unwilling just to let the real Acharya continue the mission with the real Acharya, the previous one, and just worship them, and hear from them and be honest. But you got to jump the gun and become gurus, and everybody, oh, Guru Dev, give me mercy, deliver me. You can't deliver anybody. If you don't have pure love of God awakened in a mature condition, you know, you're a stumbling block. You know, you're not giving people the real Bhagavatam. Okay? So that's why we get jewels here, people who really want to know the real truth. Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead, read on.
Well, so the speaker and the audience were bona fide in this meeting, where the Bhagavatam was being recited for the second time.
See, the speaker and the audience. This is so important. See, the speaker is qualified. See, the audience is qualified. What? Why? Because they have the qualifications that Krishna pointed out in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, see, because you're a devotee and my friend. You're my devotee and my friend. You're my disciple and my friend. Like this. I will give you confidential truths. See? And you won't find fault with me. See? Because you see, that's the qualification. See? And so because a lot of times people will come and a person is a qualified speaker, but they're not a qualified listener. They come to challenge the guru. See? And you see how people lose their qualification. They hear for a while, oh yeah, very nice and wonderful and everything, and then they go away because they challenge they end up having a different opinion. They lose that qualification of feeling themselves like a disciple and friend. See? You can't just artificially be equal with such a guru. You got to become a disciple and a friend or a well-wisher. A lot of people might be humble, say, I can't, you know, like here, we don't give any official initiation. You come here, your heart is here. If your heart is here, you know, that's initiation. Yeah. Your spiritual life is initiated, right? Initiation. Otherwise, it's just external. It's just a banana and a fire and a thread. You know, your heart is not really the goal. You might have a banana and a fire and thread thinking, oh my goodness, someday I'm going to be a big teacher. I'm going to speak, you know, big classes, and I'm going to have big followers and all that. See, that's not a qualified listener. You're not purified thinking like that. See? But those who hear, because just for the sake of hearing, because that vibration, you become like Arjuna. Oh, my ears are like tongues, and I just feel great joy hearing from you. Oh, this vibration is so wonderful. Oh, it's making me feel the Lord in my own heart awakening. Oh, I feel a closeness with God hearing from you. See, now that's a qualified listener. Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Thanks for hanging in there. I know it's tough. Eyes are closing.
Yeah, I really like to learn these priorities from you. I really like it. That should be the standard of recitation of Bhagavatam, so that the real purpose can be served without difficulty. Unless this situation is created, Bhagavatam recitation for extraneous purposes is useless labor, both for the speaker.
See, useless,
Yeah.
useless. Why? That's why I say, why waste your time going to people? Right from the get-go, with Prabhupada's disciples, they immediately put up the guru chairs, and they never apologized. Said, you know, we really did the wrong thing. You know, only one person did, Hamsaduta. Hamsaduta, I read a letter, and he said, you know, I really did the wrong thing. When I felt disappointed when Prabhupada didn't appoint me Guru Dave, to do, the others never said anything, never apologized, nothing. See? In other words, not sincere, not realized. See? So you want to waste your time, go continue hearing. My disciples are going back to Godhead. Already, Godhead has come back to many of my students. You can see it with your own eyes. If you want to believe the shuck and jive and all the baloney out there, go ahead, Or do you want to see the real thing is here? It's exactly what Prabhupada said. When you get a qualified speaker and a qualified hearer, you got going to have love of God manifesting quickly in devotees. You're going to see Lord Chaitanya's mercy, the magic of it manifesting, like here. That's why everybody they like to keep everything quiet. Don't go over to Gaur Hari, man. Don't let he's offensive, man. Yeah, you're right. I'm very offensive because I take down the fences to getting into the kingdom of God. That is my job, my work here. And I love my work. Oh, here we go again. Go ahead there, Tom.
Unless this situation is created, Bhagavatam recitation for extraneous purposes is useless labor, both for the speaker and for the audience. Yes.
It's good stuff,
two.
isn't it? Go
yes.
ahead.
I was feeling this. You can if both they are not bona fide, it cannot flow. Then the real nectar cannot be milked out of this. Then it stays superficial, and it's not deep enough. It's not the real substance is not flowing.
Yeah, it's like Jesus said. He would say to the Pharisees, "There's no room for my word in you." See, because the word of a transcendentally situated devotee causes purification. Yeah, it causes ultimately the awakening of devotion to God. And he saw there was no room. Even you guys notice, you go and preach to people where there's no room. They're so full of the false ego identifications. You can say, and you feel it just doesn't go in. It's like trying to stuff it in. It's like, oh man, it doesn't work. There's no room for it. See? So that's why most of the time people just show up here because probably they've been doing this for lifetimes and they come here. They're like, say, like Amy, it goes in really nicely, and they really receive that word and it does stuff. It's changing things inside, transforming, enlightening. Yeah. So, yeah. So the speaker needs a bona fide, but so do the listeners also. I remember a good example was Prabhupada in the early days. He was chanting Hare Krishna on stage, and everybody's rocking and feeling like it. And then he felt inspired to preach Bhagavad Gita, right? So he started preaching Bhagavad Gita, and all this heckling started. And then Prabhupada saw there was no room for this kind of preaching, no room for the word. And he goes, Kirtan. And they started chanting again. See, there's a lot of that going on. A lot of people couldn't really understand Prabhupada. That's why he kept it basic. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, and what I also feel sometimes it needs some determination. If I talk to my brother for instance, but every time sometimes I have to be patient, and next time comes and I can add some other information. Sometimes it needs time to progress.
Yeah. You're right.
Text 2.
Mm-hmm.
We finished the purport. Shonaka said, O Sutta Goswami, you are the most fortunate and respected of all those who can speak and recite. Please relate the pious message of Srimad Bhagavatam, which was spoken by the great and powerful sage Shukadeva Goswami.
And this is not materially pious message. This is a transcendental message. See in the word for word they use. Punyam, pious. Oh yeah, punyam. So yeah, punyam could be material piety, and then there's also spiritual piety. See? Spiritual, of spirit. That's so Shukadeva Goswami spoke transcendental sound vibration. It awakened the heart of Mars Prikshit so much that he went back to Godhead in 7 days. He was delivered, he was liberated in 7 days from the sound. So that's beyond pious. A lot of people, they think being a good Brahmin is pious, or a sannyasi, oh, he's a very pious person. Yeah. Do you speak transcendental sound? Do you awaken ecstatic devotion in others? See, now that's real piety. That's the piety that Lord Chaitanya was after and teaching about, and that we're teaching also. Otherwise, you can go to a good Brahmin or a good sannyasi. They're good persons. They're austere and they sadhana. They do regulations and this and that. But if you want delivery, you need to understand what is real piety, transcendental. Okay? Everything is in the world auspicious and inauspicious, right? That's material duality. Auspicious is material goodness. Inauspiciousness is passion and ignorance. Okay? Especially ignorance, okay? Inauspicious, okay? But it's still material, still covering. What we need to hear is transcendental sound vibration. This message we're giving here is for those who want eternal liberation. Because you listen to this, your consciousness will be cleansed, purified, and raised to the transcendental platform very quickly. You become as good as your guru without thinking, oh, I'm as good as my guru. That's false ego. You didn't get there yet. No, you'll be so grateful. Oh, wow, by the mercy of my guru, I've been liberated. Oh, eternally. Oh, I got prem because of my eyes. So that's devotional service. That's teaching the real path. Yeah. Helping, assisting the guru do the job, that is appointed to them. Okay. And then you become like that, a guru also for people. Even as a teacher, even when you're in the presence, like here, we work together as a team. Yeah. You can help people, you help them along, and they'll look at you like teacher or guru or whatever. But then you teach them these principles you learn here. All right, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I really liked this being raised to that level of transcendental taste, and not tasting the mundane qualities, but it's about. I feel it's about this raising. I like this word raising to the transcendental taste.
Yeah. Well, that's how. See, it's like by sound vibration. Sound vibration is always known to be very powerful. Sound vibration is what degrades our consciousness. You notice you can go and listen to all this material sound vibrations, and you feel your consciousness being lowered, and you feel unhappy. Even your feelings are lowered to a lower platform, into more fear or whatever it is, just fear, unhappiness, anxieties. See? When you hear from a devotee, things are different. You find, actually, I was surprised myself. I was sitting in the pool. Janaki was there. I think she heard that. But anyway, I was sitting in the pool, and I was just talking to these people, and we had a nice conversation. And this lady, she didn't talk much. She was I was wondering, she's just sitting back in the hot pool, in the warm pool, just with a big smile on her face. And then afterwards she comes, she says, I just love listening to your voice. I felt so good, so relaxed. Your voice is so, but that comes with purification. And they were looking at Janaki's face. Oh, you look so bright, so happy. Yeah. So
I feel, by listening to your sound vibration, the other concerns, the mundane concerns, they disappear at the background. They are not in the focus anymore, because your attention is your voice is drawing us to this level. It's attractive. It is attracting our consciousness to the higher tastes. And then the lesser concerns, they disappear at the background. They dissolve.
Yeah. It's I wanted to say something about that. Oh yeah. We read something about Krishna. Yeah, in this glorification of in Krishna Karnamrita. And so the glorification is, or one of these books, so these Goswami books. He said Krishna He's the carefree rasic devotee, rasic a relisher of mellows, carefree, and I love that. We talked about that for about a half an hour. See, so that the devotee themselves is feeling carefree because they're relishing these exchanges. So you're picking up the vibration. See, most people are not carefree in this world. You know, when they talk to you, they're often very agitated, and you pick, even though you may not know it consciously, but you pick up their vibration. You pick up a vibration in the modes of nature, passion or ignorance, or if you're lucky, somebody in goodness, but it's still not transcendental. See, real devotees who have the transcendental potency is different. That's why they're, you know, to hear from such devotees very quickly, devotion to Krishna awakens. That's the secret of success here. This is proof that this is not a mundane vibration. People could say, "Oh, he's speaking nonsense and blah 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 blah." And as we see, the fruit of this preaching, this word here, this association, this emanation is ecstatic love is waking a lot of devotees, or making progress to it, or developing the greed for it. Yeah, it's spiritual. So people don't know how to analyze what is actually transcendental, what is still mundane. But that's part of our work here. I think it's great. It's wonderful.
But I also feel by coming here regularly, the attraction, listening to other people, it degrades, it becomes less, because listening to other sound vibrations that are not as deep as this, it becomes more and more clear, and that it's boring. It's not nourishing us.
Yeah, it's not nourishing. Yeah, exactly. You learn perspective because you get a higher taste. You can give up the lower. That's the whole you get practical Bhagavatam here. Ceasing such engagements like listening to mundane people by a higher taste. I remember Sachi, she used to go talk to this one lady, one of her friends, for hours. And then she kept coming and listening. And after a while, she said, "I can't stand listening to her. You know, she just mundane talks, you know, blah, 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 blah." That's why, often Janaki, she met a lady in the, or we both met her or something at the hot springs again. But boy, she talk a lot, and I didn't want to even go in because she said, "Oh, I'll take you down there." Very nice lady to do nice things, but they're in the world, worldly, yeah. And so, "Oh, I'll take you down." And I was saying, "How long are we going to go for this?" Because I don't like to hear just blah 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 talk, man. Yeah, I'm spoiled. I like transcendental sound. You get hooked on that. So even the lady was really nice and all that. I ended up going, but I didn't like to just hear people because they've still got the modes running through them. So when you do classes like this every day and chant in such ecstasy, what do you expect, man? You get spoiled, and I'm here to spoil a lot of other people, help others get spoiled too. So you can also distinguish what is mundane vibration, what is spiritual. To distinguish that is very rare. Most persons do not vibrate on that level. Cannot, and proof that you do is you chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion. So you're the only devotees who chant like that are the door to Vrindavan. Quick advancement, attaining Vrindavan without a lot of trouble. We happen to be with some of the rare sangha for this that take place. Yeah. Wow. Oh, you know what? It's getting late here. I got to take my lunch. I don't want to get too out of whack. And plus, my voice is going. Okay, so this is great. Nice chat here, talking.
Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you there, Tom. That's great. You're great reading.
This was really great. I like this discerning.
Yeah, me too.
I really this really helps me. Thank you.
Yeah, isn't it nice? We read the verses and sometimes the word for word, and then the purport, and then comment on the. I love this. I really feel that Prabhupada really likes this. This will probably convince a lot of devotees that we're not just talkers, that we know what we're talking about, because we're even using the verses and the purports to prove our points. When people say, actually, that really study Prabhupada, you have to be in real big false ego not to accept such explanations. You know? Yeah. Yeah, this is amazing. Well, thank you for encouraging me, everybody out there, all you sadhus, Janaki, Sachi, Aman, and Govinda, if you're out there, and whoever else is out there. So great, man. Yeah, if anybody has missed any of this, you can watch the replay. It's worth it, man. It's really good stuff. All right, Tom. See you later. I got to eat. Ooh.